In the recent match, Phil Foden truly delivered the kind of performance Manchester City fans have long been longing to see. A complete performance with a goal, an assist, and full control of the game's tempo. Against Huddersfield in the third round of the Carabao Cup, Pep Guardiola fielded many young players to rotate the squad, but it was Phil Foden who emerged as the star, dictating the rhythm, leading the entire play, and ultimately deciding the outcome. As early as the 18th minute, he broke the deadlock with a crisp strike from outside the box after a smooth combination with Divine Mikasa. That goal not only gave his team an early advantage but also showcased the confidence and decisiveness of a player who had struggled with form last season. By the 74th minute, Foden once again brought the crowd to its feet with his quick vision, skillful touch, and precise assist for Savinho to seal a 2-0 victory. If his opener highlighted his clinical finishing, then this assist reflected his maturity in playmaking, choosing the best option for the team rather than going for personal glory. The statistics further underlined Phil Foden's influence. He created the most chances with 3 key passes leading to shots, won 4 duels, and maintained an almost perfect passing accuracy, all within his 77 minutes on the pitch. Manchester City enjoyed over 80% possession, and Foden was right at the heart of that dominance. He didn't just score and assist, but also orchestrated the game like a true conductor. That meant even more considering what he had been through recently. Last season, he endured a spell where his form dipped, his rhythm faltered, and he himself admitted to struggling with fitness and mentality. But this morning on the pitch, that image was nowhere to be seen. Instead, what we saw was a confident, mature Foden, ready to shoulder responsibility when his team needed a leader. After the match, Pep Guardiola was full of praise, calling Foden the heartbeat of Manchester City, a true product of the academy who embodies the club's identity. Teammates like Doku also expressed admiration, saying Foden fully deserves the plaudits regardless of past criticism. The win over Huddersfield may only be a small step in the Carabao Cup title defense. But for Foden, it felt like a milestone, a symbol of his resurgence. It wasn't just about a goal and an assist, it was about the rebirth of a player once regarded as City's crown jewel. This morning, Phil Foden wasn't just an attacker, he was the soul of the team. And it's not only about this Huddersfield game. Foden this season is showing a completely different face. After being criticized for a lack of form and stamina, he has bounced back and immediately made his mark. In just a few recent games, Foden has been directly involved in 4 goals through scoring and assisting, consistently earning very high post-match ratings, often close to 9. A score reserved for standout displays. Earlier in the Champions League, he assisted Haaland's goal, and in the Manchester Derby, Foden scored himself in City's commanding 3-0 win. These moments show he is no longer a peripheral figure but someone who steps up in big games. The numbers back it up: high passing accuracy, frequent chance creation, and direct goal involvement. He scores, he creates, he does it all. Looking at Foden's past 3 years, his journey has been nothing short of a rollercoaster. Not long ago, in the 2023-24 season, he reached his peak with 19 Premier League goals and won the PFA Player of the Year. He was hailed as City's true MVP, the new face of the Etihad Academy, the boy who grew into the heartbeat of City's attack, from stunning long-range strikes against Brentford to derby-winning goals. That season made the world believe he had entered the ranks of true superstar match winners. But right after the peak came the plunge. The 2024-25 season was a nightmare, both for City and for Foden. With Kevin De Bruyne out of form, Pep expected Foden to step into the playmaker role, but he couldn't deliver. Instead of decisive strikes and dazzling dribbles, he looked subdued, burdened by expectations. His individual numbers plummeted, and he himself admitted it was a tough season mentally and physically. Criticism from the media, pressure from fans, and fitness concerns all dragged him down. From the brightest star, he suddenly became the odd one out. Foden's journey has clearly been anything but smooth. From MVP heights to a crushing low, and now rising again with a point to prove, his career really does feel like a roller coaster. Plunging down only to soar back up. Perhaps those free falls make this season's revival all the more valuable. He is fighting back, and while more twists and turns surely await, one thing is clear: Foden hasn't given up. To truly understand how much faith City lost in him, It's worth remembering how often the club kept searching for alternatives to Foden in the creative role. It was Ryan Cherki, the summer signing at Etihad, who was seen as the emergency solution for a midfield lacking inspiration, especially with Kevin De Bruyne sidelined and Foden's form having plummeted last year. At that time, many believed Pep Guardiola needed a player capable of carrying the ball, dribbling past opponents, and sparking creativity from midfield. Foden was supposed to become that figure. But last year he sank into fatigue and a string of disappointing performances. Pep had no choice but to seek another solution. And Cherki's arrival was a reminder that Foden was no longer untouchable. This season, though, the picture is much clearer. Pep Guardiola has shifted away from suffocating control football toward a more open, faster, and freer style of play. City no longer look to wear opponents down with a slow tempo. Instead, they attack directly, transition quickly, and allow multiple players to share in creativity. That openness has made Phil Foden one of the biggest beneficiaries. In the past, Pep often reminded him that he was always too hot, like a car stuck in overdrive. But now, within this system, his natural explosiveness is unleashed rather than restrained. He isn't forced to mimic De Bruyne or suppress his instincts to hold tempo. Instead, Pep has given him freedom, at times dropping deep to create, other times pushing high to finish, or drifting inside to exploit space. With a lighter burden and more flexibility, Foden has rediscovered himself as a genuine star. After last season's decline, he no longer needs to overexert himself to prove anything. All he has to do is flow with the system and shine at the right moments. Once Pep unlocked that freedom, Foden's game became much easier, much like Haaland, who is also enjoying the same fluidity this season. Perhaps Foden's early rise gave people the false impression that he had already passed his peak, that his best days were behind him. But the reality is he's only 25, the age at which many midfielders just begin to hit their prime. At City, he has spent years honing technique, accumulating experience, and collecting silverware. His skill set has been polished, dribbling, finishing, turning in tight spaces, and linking up with world-class teammates. But this season, the story is no longer just about technique. It's about mentality, responsibility, and stature. This is the season where Foden can no longer be seen as just the academy wonderkid. He must step up and become a central reference point in Pep's attack. He has to be the leader, the source of inspiration his teammates look toward. With Guardiola's system now more open, Foden has every chance to explode through freedom of movement, tactical flexibility, and most importantly, the courage to take responsibility. It's time for City's prodigy to fully embrace the spotlight in his own way, still only 25. Yet carrying a wealth of experience. A symbol forever tied to Manchester's sky blue. And now the greatest hope in Guardiola's quest to sustain his empire. If in the past Foden was a promise, this season he must be the confirmation. The time has come for him to prove he is not just a fine product of the academy, but a mature star, a fixed point in every tactical calculation at Manchester City.